What a woman's hug really means? Most men are clueless. Most men completely misread this. A woman wraps her arms around them and they think, oh, it's just a hug. No big deal. Just a friendly gesture. But what if I told you it's never just a hug? Every embrace, every extra second she lingers, every slight squeeze, none of it is random. Women communicate through subtle actions. And if you're not paying attention, you're missing a conversation happening right in front of you. While you're thinking in simple terms, she's operating on a whole different level, like a grandmaster in a game you don't even realize you're playing. My channel is the Stoic Spirit, and in this video, I'm going to break down 6 hidden psychological messages behind a woman's hug. Things most men never even notice. And if you think this is just about attraction, you're way off. Sometimes a hug is a test. Sometimes it's a display of power. Other times, it's a silent message to the world about who you are to her. The Stoics understood this well. They knew that most men walk through life blind, reacting instead of truly seeing. But when you sharpen your perception, you start to understand the deeper meaning behind people's actions. Because here's the truth. If you don't train yourself to read between the lines, to see what's really happening beneath the surface, you're not in control of your reality. You're just being pushed around by forces you don't even recognize. And in today's world, ignorance isn't just costly, it's dangerous. So buckle up. By the time this video is over, you'll never see a hug the same way again. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe if you're ready to take full command of your relationships using the power of Stoicism. Every video is a step toward mastering your mindset and building stronger, more meaningful connections. Let's dive in. 1. She's testing you and you don't even realize it. A hug. It seems simple, right? Just two people sharing a moment of warmth. But if you think that's all there is to it, you're missing the bigger picture. When a woman hugs you, she's not just being affectionate. She's reading you, scanning you like a predator, sizing up its prey. This isn't just a casual embrace. It's a quiet test, a way to measure the kind of man you are. Most guys don't see it. They assume a hug is just a hug. But women, they operate on a different level. The moment she wraps her arms around you, she's gathering information whether she realizes it or not. It's instinctive. She's picking up on your body language, your energy, and your response. Do you stiffen up, unsure of what to do? Do you give a weak, awkward pat on her back like you're burping a baby? Or do you hold your ground, returning the hug with a calm, effortless confidence, the kind that says you know who you are? It's the same principle in high-stakes social interactions. Ever had a job interviewer casually offer you a glass of water? You might think it's just hospitality, but it's a subtle test. They're watching to see how you handle yourself, whether your hands shake, whether you hesitate. It's a micro test, just like her hug. And here's the hard truth. Hesitation signals weakness. Women are wired to pick up on uncertainty. If you overthink a simple hug, second-guess yourself, or tense up, it's an unconscious red flag to her. She may not even realize she's noticing it, but her mind is already processing what it means. On the flip side, a man who is comfortable in his own skin, who embraces the moment with natural confidence, stands out immediately. He doesn't need to prove anything. He doesn't seek validation in how she reacts. He's just there, solid, present, unshaken. This is where the Stoic mindset makes all the difference. A Stoic man isn't controlled by nerves or insecurity. He doesn't analyze every little action or worry about how he's perceived. He simply is calm, grounded, and certain in himself. Because the moment you start looking for approval, even in something as small as a hug, you've already lost. She's taking mental notes, and whether you realize it or not, that hug just revealed more about you than any words ever could. 2, she's measuring your emotional availability, and you don't even realize it. This goes deeper than you think. A hug isn't just about physical touch. It's an emotional scan, a silent test to see what kind of man you truly are beneath the surface. Women are wired to sense energy in ways most men never consider. And in those few seconds of contact, She's picking up on things you don't even know you're giving away. Think of it like tapping on a wall to see if it's solid or hollow. When she wraps her arms around you, she's not just being affectionate. She's feeling you out. She's assessing. Are you emotionally grounded? Or do you feel empty beneath the surface? Do you radiate warmth and presence? Or does your energy feel distant and disconnected? Are you fully there in the moment? Or is your body present while your mind drifts elsewhere? Does your embrace carry a sense of quiet strength, or does it feel hesitant and unsure? She notices. Women have an almost supernatural ability to read between the lines, to pick up on what words don't say. Your posture, your grip, your breathing, every tiny detail feeds into her subconscious assessment of you. And here's the brutal truth. If you feel emotionally closed off, if there's an emptiness inside you, if your mind is cluttered with stress and self-doubt, she'll sense it instantly. Most men think they can cover up their insecurities with forced confidence, a fake smile, or a strong handshake. But women see through the act. They don't listen to just your words. They listen to your presence, your energy. If you're weighed down by emotional baggage, if you're disconnected from your masculine core, your body language will betray you before you even speak. You might not realize it, but she does. And this is exactly where Stoicism separates the strong from the weak. A Stoic man is not a man without emotion. He's a man in control of himself. He doesn't let his emotions rule him, but he also doesn't shut them down. He doesn't act out of neediness, nor does he build walls to keep people away. He stands firm, centered, and present. He lives in the moment, not in past regrets or future anxieties. And that's the difference. When a Stoic man hugs, it's not out of desperation, obligation, or insecurity. He hugs because he chooses to engage. His energy is stable, unwavering, and women feel that. They respect it. They are drawn to it because at the end of the day, a hug is more than just a simple gesture. It's a silent conversation. And if you don't know what you're communicating, you're already at a disadvantage. 3, she's setting the stage for physical connection on her terms. This is a big one, and most guys completely miss it. When a woman initiates a hug, it's not just a polite greeting or a friendly gesture, it's a calculated move. She's establishing control over the physical dynamic between you, whether you realize it or not. Think of it like hosting a party. She's inviting you into her space, but on her terms. She's the one setting the rules, dictating the flow, and deciding how much or how little happens. It's her subtle way of saying, I'm okay with being close to you, but make no mistake. I decide how this plays out. It's the same concept as when someone invites you into their home. They trust you enough to let you step inside, but they still control the environment. They determine where you sit, how long you stay, and what kind of access you have. The hug functions the same way. It's her establishing a frame of control over physical connection. Where most men get it wrong, here's where a lot of guys mess up. Some hold on too long, signaling desperation, over-eagerness, or attachment. Others let go too quickly, showing hesitation, uncertainty, or discomfort. And then there are those who misread the entire moment, either freezing up or overcompensating by becoming too aggressive. What most men don't understand is that every little action in that brief moment tells her something about you. How you handle physical closeness, how socially aware you are, and most importantly, whether you're a man who naturally leads or one who blindly follows. A weak man lets the moment control him. He overthinks, second-guesses himself, and watches her reaction instead of being rooted in his own presence. He hesitates, unsure of whether he's doing too much or too little. The Stoic approach: lead without forcing. A Stoic man, he doesn't seek validation through physical contact. He doesn't need it. He remains composed, unfazed, and entirely comfortable in his own skin. He respects her space, but he doesn't submit to her frame. He doesn't hesitate, nor does he rush. He simply moves with natural confidence. He meets her energy with balance, maintaining assertiveness without force and self-control without stiffness. And trust me, Women notice that. They may not be able to explain it in words, but they feel it. It's the kind of presence that leaves an impression not because he did anything flashy, but because his energy was centered, stable, and completely unshaken. It's not just a hug, it's a power dynamic. At the end of the day, this isn't just about a hug. It's about who leads the frame. This moment, seemingly small and insignificant, is a microtest. A test where she's evaluating exactly what kind of man you are. Are you grounded, aware, and in control of yourself? Or are you easily led by the frame she sets? Women pick up on these details faster than most men ever realize. It's instinctive. A man who owns himself, who doesn't shrink or overreach, is the kind of man she remembers. The silent conversation in every hug. A hug is not just a hug. It's a silent conversation, a nonverbal negotiation of energy, confidence, and leadership. And here's what makes the difference. A weak man thinks, I hope she likes me. A stoic man thinks, let's see what kind of connection we have. That shift in mindset changes everything. Because when you're rooted in yourself, when you understand that you don't need to chase, overcompensate, or shrink, you naturally exude confidence. And women feel that. Your turn. Have you felt it? Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a hug with a woman that felt like something more? Maybe it was that instant connection. Or maybe it left you wondering what was really going through her mind. Drop a comment below and tell me your thoughts. Do you believe a woman's hug reveals something about her feelings and intentions? And if you've ever felt that energy shift, that silent but powerful moment of connection, write this in your comment. I felt the energy. I'll be responding to some of your comments, so don't be shy. Let's dive into this conversation. 4. She's sensing your physical chemistry. Let's be real. When a woman hugs you, she's not just being polite. She's not just greeting you or showing affection. She's feeling you out in ways you might not even be aware of. This is biology at its most primal, a chemistry test that has nothing to do with logic or reason. It's not about what you say, how you look, or even how well you get along. It's about whether she feels something when she's close to you. Think about it like cooking. You can follow a recipe step by step, but at some point, you have to taste the dish. You take a small bite, not because you don't trust the process, but because you need to know, does it work? Do the flavors blend? Or is something off? That one moment of tasting tells you everything. A hug works the same way. Does it feel right or forced? When she hugs you, her body is checking for alignment, not just physically, but energetically. Do your bodies naturally fit together, or does it feel stiff and awkward, like trying to jam two puzzle pieces that don't match? Does your scent appeal to her, or does it make her instinctively pull away? You might not realize it, but scent plays a major role in attraction. Your natural pheromones communicate far more than you think. Is there warmth in the embrace? Does it feel alive, electric, charged with something unspoken? Or does it feel like hugging a brick wall, dull, lifeless, forced? Women are highly attuned to energy. In a split second, her body is processing all of this on a subconscious level, scanning, analyzing, evaluating. She might not even be fully aware of it, but trust me, her body knows. Your body speaks louder than your words. And here's where things get real. If you're unsure of yourself, if you're nervous or awkward, she'll feel it. You won't even have to say a word. Your body will tell on you. That slight hesitation, that stiffness, that second guessing, it sends a message louder than anything you could say. It tells her, I'm not comfortable in my own skin. I'm still seeking approval. I don't fully own who I am. And that's a problem because attraction isn't just mental. It's physical, raw, and primal. She's not just hugging you. She's checking if there's something there beyond surface-level attraction. The Stoic man, chemistry without force. Now, contrast that with a man grounded in Stoic principles. He doesn't seek validation from the hug. He doesn't need her touch to prove anything. He doesn't look for confirmation that he's enough. He just is. And that difference is immediate. His presence is steady and unshakable like a rock. He's not trying to impress her. He's not overanalyzing the moment. He doesn't manufacture attraction. He lets it unfold naturally. When a Stoic man hugs, there's no hesitation, no overthinking. His body and energy are in perfect harmony, and she feels that on a level deeper than logic. Some things can't be faked. This is where so many guys get stuck. They think attraction is about saying the right thing, dressing the right way, or following some kind of formula. But attraction doesn't work like that. It's felt, not thought about. You can't fake confidence. You can't fake presence. You can't fake chemistry. A woman isn't just responding to what you say. She's responding to who you are in that moment. The hug is a test, but not one you can pass. Here's the truth most men don't understand. The hug is her test, but not in the way you think. You can't win it by doing something specific. You can't game the system. You can only show up as you truly are and let the rest take care of itself. And that's exactly where the Stoic man stands apart. He doesn't chase chemistry or try to force a connection. He understands that it's either there or it's not. And he's okay with that. He's not attached to the outcome. His self-worth isn't hanging in the balance. And that unshakable presence, that quiet, effortless confidence, that's what makes him magnetic. 5, she's sending a silent message, and you might not even realize it. Now we're diving into the real psychology of the situation. When a woman hugs you in public, it's not just a moment of affection. It's a statement, a subtle but powerful signal to everyone watching. Think of it as a status update, a quiet declaration to the world. This man is part of my inner circle. He matters to me, and I want you to know it. But here's where it gets interesting. The hug itself, that's the fine print. That's where the real message is encoded. Because, trust me, she's not hugging you just to be polite. Whether she's aware of it or not, she's sending a signal to the people around her without saying a word. Different types of hugs, different meanings. A quick, casual hug, that's neutral. It's like a polite handshake, a simple acknowledgement that you're in her life, but nothing more. It's non-threatening, something she'd give to a sea orca or an old acquaintance, but a longer, warmer embrace. Now that's something different. That's a statement, a way of saying this man is important to me without actually speaking the words. It's kind of like when a cat rubs against your leg. It's not just being cute, it's marking its territory. And in a way, she's doing the same thing. Through body language alone, she's letting the world know. This person has a place in my life. Pay attention. She may not even realize she's doing it, but her instincts are. And that's what makes it so powerful, understanding the power dynamics. Here's where most men get it wrong. They think the hug itself is the main event, but it's not. It's the frame around the bigger picture. It's about how you carry yourself in that moment and how that fits into your status in her world. If you're unsure, awkward, or clingy, the message gets lost. If you stand firm, relaxed, and in control, the message is clear and undeniable. You belong. And that's exactly where Stoicism comes in. The Stoic approach, owning the moment without seeking validation. A Stoic man doesn't need external validation. He doesn't seek approval or demand attention. He doesn't need a hug to confirm his worth. He already knows it. So when that hug comes, he doesn't overanalyze it. He doesn't wonder, what does this mean? Is she into me? Because he doesn't need to. His self-worth isn't dependent on outside signals. And that is what makes him powerful. Because when a man is already grounded in himself, his presence naturally commands respect. He's not looking for signs. He's aware of them, but not controlled by them. The key, awareness without attachment. But here's the catch. Being stoic doesn't mean ignoring signals. A strong man isn't blind to what's happening around him. He sees the dynamics at play. He understands that life is full of unspoken messages. And just because he doesn't chase them doesn't mean he doesn't read them. So when a woman hugs you in public, she's subtly defining your place in her world. And in that moment, your ability to stay calm, composed, and self-assured speaks volumes about your true status in the real world. because attraction isn't just about what you feel. It's about how the world perceives you and how you choose to show up. That hug, it's a window into that very dynamic. So ask yourself, what message are you sending? What message are you receiving? Be aware, not obsessed, not needy, just aware. That's the difference between a man who reacts to life and a man who owns his presence in the world. 6. She's creating a moment you'll both remember. Now, let's go deeper into something most men overlook, but that holds immense power. A hug isn't just a simple gesture, it's a time capsule. When a woman hugs you, she's not just holding you for a few seconds. She's capturing a moment, freezing it in time so that it becomes something you both carry with you. Whether you realize it or not, it's like a mental snapshot. But unlike a photograph that captures a visual image, this moment locks in something far more powerful. A feeling. It's a rush of emotion, a silent exchange, an energy that lingers even after the moment has passed. And trust me, she will remember it. The memory she's creating. Her brain is locking in every tiny detail, every nuance of that embrace. And later on, she's going to replay it in her mind. She'll reflect on it, whether consciously or subconsciously, and ask herself, did my heart race? Did I feel a spark? That rush of adrenaline that comes with real chemistry? Was there a deep connection that went beyond just physical touch? Did it feel natural, effortless, like it was meant to happen? Or was it awkward, forced, like trying to create something that wasn't really there? Most importantly, did I want it to last longer, or was I relieved when it ended? That last question is crucial, because if she wanted it to last longer, it means that moment held significance for her. Why this matters more than you think. A hug is never just a hug. It's an emotional marker, a trigger that can bring her back to a key moment in how she feels about you. Just like the scent of fresh-baked cookies can instantly bring you back to childhood, a hug can trigger an instant emotional memory. It becomes part of the way she remembers you moving forward. But here's the thing, you can't just rely on these moments happening by chance. If you understand how attraction works, you know that nothing just magically falls into place. The men who wait for things to happen are the same men who end up wondering why they never get what they want. A Stoic man creates his own moments. A woman doesn't just give her heart away through a hug. She decides who she allows into her space, who she shares these pieces of herself with. And you, as a man, control whether she wants to remember you in the same way you remember her. From a Stoic perspective, this is where self-awareness and intentionality come into play. A Stoic man doesn't get caught up in the emotional highs and lows of a moment, but that doesn't mean he's oblivious to them. He understands that every experience, every interaction holds weight. And so when he's in that hug, he's not thinking about himself. He's not asking, what does this mean for me? Instead, he's focused on a much more important question. What am I making her feel? This is where the real power lies. Being present without seeking validation. Music. The Stoic man doesn't need external validation. He doesn't rely on these moments to feel worthy. He doesn't hug a woman and then analyze it for hours trying to decipher what it meant. But he does understand the signals life throws at him. This hug, this moment isn't random. It's an opportunity, a brief but powerful test of presence. He doesn't crave these moments, but when they happen, he embraces them fully. Not because he's chasing a reaction, but because he values every experience as a chance to grow stronger. How this moment defines you. Here's the truth. Every action you take, every word you say, and every second of physical connection reinforces the kind of man you are. Not just in her eyes, but in your own. That hug, that split second of physical contact. It's a powerful signal. And for a Stoic man, it's not just about how he feels in the moment. It's about how he stays grounded in himself, no matter what happens. If you're the kind of man who can take these moments and use them to strengthen yourself without letting them define you, something incredible happens. These moments start happening more often. Women start to feel drawn to you, Not because you're chasing their attention, but because your energy is unshaken. And just like that mental snapshot, the memory of how she felt in your presence will stick with her far longer than you realize. The hug is more than just a hug. It's a test, a snapshot, a key part of how you position yourself in her mind and in her life. And the best part, you don't have to force it. You don't have to manufacture chemistry. All you have to do is be present. Be the man who owns himself, a man whose energy commands respect without needing to prove a thing. Because when you do that, the memory of that hug won't just stay with her for a moment, it'll last. Now that you understand what a woman's hug really means, it's time to take things a step further. If you found this insightful, you'll want to check out the video popping up on your screen right now. 29 shocking psychological facts about women. Trust me, it's packed with insights that will change the way you see women forever. So go ahead and click on that video. And before you go, don't forget to like this post and subscribe for more eye-opening content. See you there. Heat, heat.